Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this is a general Gods at Play reading for the full moon. I've already done oracle card readings for each individual sign. Link down below to the playlist, obviously. I'm going to say link down below a few times here. So, what's your sun, your moon, your rising? Now, these Gods at Play readings, if you've seen them before, by their very, very nature, they are dramatic. They are looking at the masks that the archons are wearing to keep you separate from your divine purpose, and the gods that are working with you and that are on your side, trying to lift you up and reconnect you with your higher self, God, the divine, however you want to look at it. And because of the cards that I use, a selection of oracle decks, they are by their very nature dramatic, which makes them so much fun. But it is a general reading. So, and it's not even necessarily a reading where it's describing what's going on for you right now. It is a look at energies that can be around you, and it's something to file away and enjoy. And you may see situations that you're going through already in the reading, or you may not. And if you don't, go and watch your moon, go and watch your rising. In fact, always watch your rising. If you've got a choice, watch your rising. Now, it is an eclipse, so I suppose your sun and your moon are quite important on this one as well. But don't give away your power. Don't depend on what any YouTube tarot reader says. These readings are officially for entertainment purposes only. But more to the point, it is a form of entertainment because it's there for confirmation. You should be able to hear things that activate your confirmation bias, or basically just go, yeah, I know what that's on about. Now, also down there is a link to the show that I did with astrologer David Fisher, looking at the astrology of the full moon, super moon, blood moon, flower moon. Yes, power moon. No, flower moon. Total lunar eclipse. So as you can imagine, it's a bit of an event. We're in eclipse season now. These next 2 weeks between the lunar and the solar eclipses are considered to be a portal in and of themselves. I know this lunar eclipse is considered to be really good for opening portals for other realms. I will say, yes, now I wrote this down somewhere. If you have any Virgo in your chart, watch the Virgo reading, which is the second half. Timestamp down below as ever, because I'm going to waffle about the moon a little bit first and then get to the reading by jumping ahead to the timestamp. But please listen to my waffle at least once, because I think you might find something of value, hopefully. But if you have any Virgo in your chart, go and watch the Virgo reading. And if you are a Pisces sun, go and watch the Virgo reading. Because if you think about it, Pisces sun means Earth in Virgo. And it's a doozy, but that Pisces Virgo axis, because I've just literally done the Pisces reading, and to be quite honest, that was a doozy as well. So if you've got anything on that Pisces Virgo axis, go and watch both of them, to be quite honest. Right, so with this reading, you can ask a question beforehand. It's not one where I guarantee that you'll be able to tell if there's an answer or not. It's not like the monthlies or my sun with moon rising combination readings, where you can either tell, yeah, this is for me, this isn't for me. So it's I don't like saying take what resonates, because it just sounds so formulaic. But if the whole thing resonates, take it. And if the whole thing doesn't resonate, don't take it. I'm much more a fan of having the whole reading or not little bits. Now, obviously, I'm a YouTube channel. I'm personally a YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow the channel, so I will be very grateful if you would like the video once you've had your reading, give me a good judgment that way. But don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do, because it really will help me grow the channel, because I leave my subscriber number public while it's so absolutely and utterly pathetic. So I'm still looking for that magic 1,000. So all helped, gratefully appreciated, and thank you so much to everyone who has. Now there's also a link down there for the Facebook page for this channel, because I don't trust YouTube notifications, but more importantly, I also post on there a lot of the astrology weather report videos that I collect from YouTube. So I try to make it a bit of a one-stop shop. And also it's got its own inbox. So if you want to contact me for a personal reading, that Facebook page is the best way to do it. There is a link tree down there that will take you to my Twitter and to my email and what have you. But trust me, Facebook's the best way to, as probably awful that is to say. Right, that was 5 minutes waffle already, and I haven't even got into the moon. So, in the Oracle card readings, I focused on the South Node. Now, what I want to focus on here is not even so much the lunar eclipse and the symbols of the lunar eclipse itself, apart from the inside degree or Chandra symbol for the 5-degree Sagittarius, where the eclipse is. I love this image. Also, being a Wonder Woman fan helps. A pair of shoes with wings on them. So basically, there's a blessing of Hermes. There is Hermes sandals. But what I want to focus on is Jupiter, because Jupiter is square to this eclipse and ruling this eclipse. Jupiter is at home in Pisces, obviously. It is dignified in Pisces, if you want to say it that way. It is also at home in Sagittarius. Now, I think that there's an extra whammy going on with Pisces. I've spoke about Neptune conjunct Pallas conjunct Orpheus in the Oracle card videos, playlist down below. But Neptune is, if you look at Neptune as the modern ruler, that's energizing Pisces and anything that's in it. You look at Jupiter as the traditional ruler, which I prefer traditional rulerships, it's energizing everything else in Pisces. The two rulers together cannot be a bad thing. Speaking as a Pisces, yes, things will get misty, and yes, things will get cosmic, and yes, things will get really, and this is quite a statement probably for all of Jupiter in Pisces this year and next year. But don't forget, we're going to get reined in by Saturn in a month or so's time as Jupiter goes retrograde. But moving on, the angel ruling Jupiter is Yelahia at 1 degree Pisces. It's actually 1 degree 11 minutes. So I looked up the angel number for that, which says very much it's about manifestation, prosperity, awareness, uniqueness, motivation, and independence. But basically, monitor your thoughts and stay focused. And that focus is a really, really important point. In the Pisces reading that I just finished, it's like your focus needs to be zeroing in and zeroing in and zeroing in. And I wish I'd thought of that image when I was doing the reading, because that's exactly what I was trying to say. But Yelahia, sorry, the angel number 111 is all about monitor your thoughts because you're going to manifest. Jupiter brings abundance. Now, Yelahia is all about sweetening judgment and is a karmic warrior, whatever that happens to mean. And I'm not even going to touch that phrase with the barge pole, because I think I know, but I think the understanding of that term is different for every single person. Because karma is different for every single person. But I like that sweetening judgment aspect. However, it's an eclipse, and as David pointed out to me, certainly in terms of, I think he was looking at the Indian astrology in the terms of the dragon Rahu and Ketu, or parts of the dragon Rahu and Ketu. He was saying that the eclipse is where the light is removed and so the demonic influence comes in. Now, the demonic influence, this decan is ruled by day by Furfa, Goetic spirit Furfa, or Furta, and by night, Seer. Now, Seer, or Seer, is his natural planet is Jupiter. So the fact that Jupiter in Pisces, in Seer's decan, gives that Jupiter expansiveness extra whammy for me. But it's given extra whammy to that Pisces energy. But let's have a look what Seer is about. Now, I would imagine around the eclipse is a great time, if you're into Goetic evocation, to evoke Seer. But I would cast some divination first, and I'm still apprehensive about doing any hocus pocus during the 14 minutes of the total eclipse. Wait till the sunlight has returned to the moon. And if you're wanting to contact Seer, I would imagine in that 14 minutes, although he is a timeless entity and lives in a realm beyond time, but you know, this time here, so he's going to likely be busy being during those 14 minutes, and therefore after the 14 minutes been in a really good mood. So Seer is actually quite a benevolent entity. Seer is known to increase the longevity of the witch, so that's really quite useful. Certainly when your days are getting on a bit. And he is apt for chakra work, specifically the second chakra, the soul star and the earth star chakra. So literally that he is an embodiment of working with the as above so below, and or the grounding yourself and bringing down white light, if you know the technique from that name. But most traditions have a version of linking yourself to Gaia and then bringing the energy down from the cosmos. Seer engenders the quick occurrence of things and catalyzes stagnated affairs with movement. He enacts the revelation of whatever persons in your life essay to keep you unaware of. So he reveals secrets. He presides over sorcery and brings about the fulfillment and gnosis of the will. So there's an understanding of self there, and there's an understanding of divine self there, or of just the divine. But the next bit is what I've highlighted. The traditional delineation of Seer is as follows, and I love this. His office is to go and come, and to bring abundance of things to pass all of a sudden, and to carry or recarry anything wherever you would have it go or where you would have it from. He can pass over the entire earth in the twinkling of a single eye. He gives a true relation of all sorts of theft and of hidden treasure and of other things. He is of an indifferent good nature and willing to do anything that the summoner requires. And then it talks about how he will help the witch contact higher spheres of light, and you've got to remember that a lot of these Goetic spirits that Solomon worked with have angelic origins. So, you know, they know what they're on about. Now, the actual degree, angel of the eclipse degree, is about building bridges, fertility, multiplicity, defeats, this Amael, defeats frustration, despair and depression, but obviously not in that 14 minutes. That's where I would imagine they could rear their head. And then it's up to you to defeat frustration, despair and depression for those 14 minutes. But the minute that light returns, Amael will be there assisting you with that. And there's a huge amount of self-determination I'm seeing about this lunar eclipse. I am actually really, really excited for this lunar eclipse. When I was starting the astrology, I was a bit like, oh God, eclipses, they're all going to be scary. You know, they're as scary as comets. But there's so much that can be drawn, I think, from this eclipse, or that can be opened. There is a wonderful sense of potential. And if this is the start of this 2-week portal, it is something to be celebrated, it is something to be experienced, and it is something to spiritually grab with both hands, in whatever way, shape, or form that may mean, because grabbing may be the wrong term. Because the other thing about this 1 degrees Pisces, there was a writer called Franz Baden who did evocations of what he called the degree heads of every degree of the zodiac. Now, 1 degree Pisces is ruled by Shad, who, among other things, inspires technical inventions. So there's this huge problem solving. He will, if you've got a little bit of genius in you, Shad will go, see that genius you've got there? Here, have that, see how you get on with it. Giving that inspiration. And there's power here, the Omega symbol. And if anybody knows where the Omega symbols are from, please do tell me. I've got this list of Omega symbols and I've no idea where they've come from. But this I really like. The Omega symbol for 1 degree Pisces. Remember, this is Jupiter ruling the eclipse, not the eclipse. From deep in the earth, the sound of a waterfall. Now, within that, we've got that sense of building of power, building of potentiality. We've got the idea of the underground stream, that magical current that runs through the earth that magicians and energy workers can tap into. The dragon lines, the ley lines, however you want to say it, with that cleansing sense of water, the waterfall. There's not much more for me. I mean, I've got loads of notes here, but they're all pretty much saying the same thing. This lunar eclipse is a doozy. Take advantage, take precautions. You know, don't do your hocus pocus during the 14 minutes of total blackout, but take advantage. Meditate, sing, dance, do whatever feels right for you that gets your energies tingling, not just your fingers, but the air around your fingers, not just your spine, but the whole air around you. When the air that is around you is part of your sensory input, then yeah, you're well on the way. And with that, let me bring up the cards. So Cancer, as you probably know by now, this eclipse is occurring in your 6th house, your work, daily routine, health matters. And you've got quite an interesting array of archons against you and God's supporting you. The one thing that I will draw your attention to is that you have here Zeus with leadership. Zeus obviously equates to Jupiter. Jupiter is ruling the eclipse and ruling the South Node currently. Co-present with the Neptune conjunct Pallas conjunct Orpheus that I have mentioned earlier. That bodes really well for you. But also, it's a curious array of gods supporting you and a curious array of archons working against you. So I'm going to say the messages that I see, whether I draw it into a coherent story is another matter. Right. You are best advised not to go with the prevailing wisdom and forge your own path, which is Thoth as an archon wearing Thoth with wisdom in this top row. I always rather consider that is like groupthink and misguided groupthink at that. So you'll be better taking the role of a leader and going, I'm going this way. Whatever this way may be, I'm going this way. Yet with that, I get it. There is being defined around you what is considered acceptable and what is not considered acceptable, and what is breaking of etiquette and what is suddenly considered disrespectful, which wasn't necessarily there before, but certainly the machinery or the energy behind this growing, I don't want to say growing enforcement of rules, that's not quite the right way to put it. This, whatever this set of rules and etiquette, and but it's sort of like a cancel culture thing coming into play. There's a lot of strength behind it, and it's given under the impression of we are hoping for a better world here, whatever that may mean for your personal circumstance, but it's wrong. What did Pandora do? She opened the box. She unleashed something that was worse. So here you've got a confusing thing about messages, but you also appear to have a bit of a secret agenda. It doesn't harm to keep a few things to yourself. Creusa here with secrets. You are receiving messages. These messages are important to you. Do not pass them on because they're your business. And I get the impression that other people don't need to know, because look, we have Hermes with messages here reporting directly to Zeus, even facing him on the card. And then we have Creusa here opposing Iris with messages. Once again, she was a cupbearer. If I remember correctly, that's the Roman name of Hebe. So whatever messages are coming to you, there is an element where you need to keep them to yourself. But you will get tested during this period, and you will get tested in terms of forgiveness here. We've got the angel of forgiveness. I choose to forgive all those who have hurt me in the past, which is lovely. Easier said than done. However, there is a danger in not doing, which is why Fomnak here, strangely, is on your side. Fomnak was the wife of an Irish king who was very, very jealous of a second wife, and because she was Tuatha De Danann, she had all of her magic skills and stuff on her side, but she was discovered what she was doing and ended up losing her head because she was trying to destroy that second wife. I mean, that legend brings up so many issues. But I'm just going to go with what she points out here is magical awareness and beware about obsessing. Sometimes it's best to let something go. And so I think by going against the prevailing wisdom and being your own leadership type figure, whether other people follow you or not. Also in the Dream Oracle, there's rarely crowds on the leading edge. So you are going to go and forge your own role here and not just go along with the crowd. And this is in response or is supported by messages that you receive that you are required to keep to yourself. But the Fomnak and Pomona here says that if you are setting off on that path on your own, good, you will have the resources for it. Right, let's see what we've got. So, yes, there really is a driving force to go with that prevailing wisdom, but at the very end of it, it doesn't make sense. Its own internal logic is not holding up, which will be quite obvious to you, even though there is a lot of pressure, a lot of people all beating the same drum, so to speak. Now those messages that come in bring in manifestation and good fortune here. We've got King of Wands, my favourite card. See what we've got with Fomnak. Use your use your intuition to lead you to whatever a better place would be in your scheme of things. You know, whether that's using divination or asking the fair folk. Be careful with your dealings with the fair folk. Um, but by keeping things to yourself that you learn, you end up benefiting. Pomona here, Empress here, that now makes sense. Um, for what you lose by not following that prevailing wisdom, you gain so much more. But that forgiveness thing is an ever present energy all across here. So, despite this prevailing wisdom, whatever it is that people are trying to get you to do, and you're just going, no, no, I'm not doing it, don't hold it against them. That's everything that I'm seeing there, Cancer. So if it means anything to you, please feel free to press the like button, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Comment down below is the most important one, because I like to know that these readings actually hit home and hit where they're supposed to be. In the meantime, see you later, and see you again towards the lunar eclipse, no doubt. Now, go watch your moon and your rising signs. Cheers.